transfers first. I think Yeovil said last night Sean McGurk is going to be with them until the end of the season, or Mark Cooper did. So how have you kind of come to that decision with him first of all?
Well, I've got a call back as well, so I've protected us. If we get any more injuries or anything other than that, his agent wants him to play. He's enjoying playing every week. I said he needs to be, in my opinion, to the boy himself, I said, you need to be the one who's loved and in the team all the time, and you haven't earned that with me yet. And you haven't done it for a year. So he's out there trying to prove that he can get some games under his belt. And if we get, it's gone past the first 28 days, so we have a record in that, it makes sense. We've been winning without him. He's been getting some goals. He's enjoying himself. I'm glad he's doing it. I'd have lent him anywhere else because this is what the boy needs to do. And if I need him at any time, I could call him back.
Do you see a sort of longer term future for him? Because if he stays with Yeovil, you're probably not going to see much of him in and around your first team to make.
Well, that doesn't matter. He's playing games, and if he can do it at that level, he's got early any senior games under his belt. And what these academies need to do is get real. Are they doing it right? Are they making talented people like him too comfortable? It's not about your talent, it's about how you're going to use it and how you're going to be. And Coops is a wonderful bloke, brought up by Terry Cooper. His dad was he was my manager, so you know, at the end of the day, I couldn't give him to a better person who would believe in him and he'd love him, and he'd also get him doing what he needs to do, which Leeds have told him, I've told him. Was he doing it? No, go and do it. And if Coops can't get it out of him, then we're both right. But I believe he can. I believe there's a really talented, brilliant little player in there if he can get himself right without the ball and fit and live right and train hard. Because with today's sports science, why shouldn't you be unbelievably fit even if you're not playing? So that's what he needs. He needs a run of games. He's not going to get him here. I'm not going to guarantee him that, because when he played for me, we lost. And he was part of it. So, you know, it's all about the group and what have you. I love him. I've told him the truth. He needs to play some games. His agent believes that as well. So I haven't given him away. I'm still retaining him. And it's all down to him at the end of the day. But you have to have a wonderfully strong, resilient team to play someone as skillful as him if he's not very good without the ball. I didn't think we had that when I gave him the chance, you know. His best game was against the under-23s team or under-21s team against Tottenham, where he was completely outstanding in the second half. But that's what he's used to. So can he step up? And I'm giving him that opportunity, and I love him to bits. So, you know, at the end of the day, I know talent. He's got loads of it. Start using it, kid. And so he has got a chance back here. It might seem weird, but his agent, I feel, got it right. He needs to keep playing. So he's getting fitter and fitter and fitter. And if I need him back, I can bring him back, can't I? So happy days. Worked for both of us.
The names of Jaden Raymond from Crystal Palace has kind of come out as someone you might be interested in. So where does that stand?
Jaden was unlucky. He's done really, really well. I liked what he does. He's sort of a number 8, can be possible wing back, and then we go and get an injury to Billy. So Billy's cover for wing back or being in my wing back and centre half. So that leaves Ryan totally spare. So really, if I need anything now, it's not him. He couldn't do that. You know, and I can't bring Coxey back one to do that. Caney can do the left wing back one, Jake, but I probably need a different position. So Jaden was really unlucky. I really liked him, very talented boy, had a good attitude. Luckily they said I could look at him. If I'd have took him last week, then I'd have had no more places left, because I've got 4 or 5 loanees at the moment, and you're only allowed to have 5 in one. Yeah, so I'm hamstrung, I'm tied, I've got to be very careful what I do. So the boy really liked it here. I had another one on trial. Jesse did really, really well, and to be honest, I'll probably have them both back in the summer. to give them a better trial, because when you're getting ready for teams and to play teams, it is really difficult. But they both did ever so well. The group, I like my group now. I like the way they are. They made them feel welcome. They helped them. They were polite. They wanted to stay. And this is what football's about. You got to enjoy what you're doing and the environment. I like what we're creating. So, unfortunately, both of those at the moment is a no, and they both know the reasons why. So, but this is what life's all about, you know.
And where are you in terms of moving some of the players out and potentially getting players in there, any sort of moves you're hopeful of in either direction?
I don't see anybody else going out, to be honest with you, with the news that I've got. And I might see a couple more coming in, if I can.
So is there a bit of kind
I
of...
think one of them's agreed.
Ooh.
The other one's being sorted out, yeah. One of them should be here by tomorrow.
So I was going to say that you have been able, after all, to get a bit of movement in, even though players aren't necessarily going out.
There was a little bit of wiggle room, but I'm definitely finding out that a little bit. Obviously, without Jamie being here, I can't go to him and say, where am I? So I've had to go to the financial people who are running the club to get them. I'm having a sit down with them. The chairman's coming over on Friday, but we got to make sure that you don't overspend, otherwise you'll get in terrible trouble. So the last thing we want is a points deduction for getting the finances wrong, which I'm not going to do. And what I want to do is also maximise the people I've already got here, and the way they're going and what they're doing for me, I'm not going to ignore. So, quite simple, isn't it? The more we win, can we win an away game? Wouldn't it be nice to win 2 back-to-back games? We haven't done it all season. It's not good enough. Still haven't done it. Still not good enough. So I'm the one who's actually setting the standards here. So I'm going to keep moving as much as I can. But at the end of the day, my boys are pleasing me immensely. Honestly, I'm delighted for them. And it's about time. Because I told you when I first came in, they're much better than the results they're getting. Even McGurk, loaning him out is, I think, right. I got 34 players, and I can only pick 11 of them. And we weren't winning with the balance and the skill sets. So when you get, oh, hang on a minute, you might need a little bit there and a little bit over there, and you know, a couple of colours on a painting make all the difference, don't they? You know, slightly different bit of shading brings something to life. So, wow. And this is the joy I have now, being out for so long, being back in is just, whoa, wait a minute. And when I say skill sets, it's really true that, you know, who do I put with Harry? Is it Aaron Drinnan who can run over the top? Is it Cabs who's powerful and strong and knocks people about? Is it Glatz who can do the box when he crosses for Glatz? So hang on a minute, I brought Tom in to link things. I think he's done well, although he's not fit enough, so I got to work with him. What else might I need? Wow. What happens if someone gets injured up in that front area? Particularly someone like Smith, what happens there? So there might be some movement in that area, because I always stack them and rack them. Centre forwards, without a shadow of a doubt. You stack them and rack them.
Let's talk a little bit about the game before we do injuries. Are you hopeful that you might have a bit of a physical edge on Newport? Because they seem to be a side which has so younger players and they're trying to, from what I understand, sort of play out from the back.
I'm hoping that we continue our progress. Our progress is making decisions that put their team under pressure rather than our team under pressure. And I think my team are starting to do that. Sometimes they make the wrong decisions, where we could have played and we should have played and we didn't play, and I'm not happy with that. But, you know, I want to produce a style of football that I would pay to watch myself, and you all know what that's going to be. But can I do it now? And whatever Newport want to do, good luck to them. Because in this division, there's probably 6, 7 different ways that I've seen being adapted. And I think what pleased me the most about Saturday was the ugliest game in the world, because they picked their strongest, biggest team, and they played from back to front because they thought that was our weakness. I think we won every header. They brought off their centre forwards. My defence dealt with it. I'm absolutely delighted. Yes, we could have created more. Yes, we could have done this. Brilliant. Was he offside? He looked offside, I thought, Smithy. I honestly thought he looked offside, but never mind, what a tackle. He put the ball in, that gave us the... But that was... And a clean sheet, so I'm delighted with that. That gave us a little bit of breathing space, but it means nothing. And this Friday, we haven't won away from home. My record away from home with this club, with these players, is disgusting. I've got 2 points out of 21, I think it is. It's absolutely disgusting. We're -9, and I'm not happy. And I'll be telling them that in a minute. Ain't good enough. So we're going to look at what we do, how we travel, why we're doing it, because we've won one poxy game all season away from home. Ain't good enough. So I got enough problems, shake a stick at, am I, at the moment, but I'm only being as honest as I can with you. The fact that we're in a position to be almost equal with the people around us now is really exciting. I think it's put a different edge on how I'm thinking and what I might be trying to bring, but these injuries that we're getting are all in the same vein, and I've got to be very, very, if you can just go out shopping, I've got to make sure I've stacked a couple of bits, really important bits, goals. Have we got enough throughout the squad? I don't think so. So I'll be doing that as well. Where else am I weak? Where else am I got the experience that I want? And how bad are these injuries that I might have to take someone for a while to get us over that? Because when that window shuts, it's 17 or 18-year-olds. We haven't got under 21s. Our lads are being loaned out and they're not ready for us yet, some of them. So it'd be a big ask to have to throw one of them in for a regular lot of games, like I've done Billy. Do you know what I mean? And is it physically? I had 3 non-league players in on Monday, and they did my run, and one of them pulled a hamstring, the other 2 did it in an unacceptable time. They were over half a minute off of what is acceptable. So I can't have them back. This is the difference, what people don't understand at home. Because they train, they're in there every day. Yes, okay, yes, okay. They're not machines, they're physical human beings who, when you do put them under this sort of pressure, it can blow things and do things. And because all the twisting and turning, and, oh, I feel sorry for them. They think about how much money they get. It's not about that, right? And if you were good enough, maybe you could have done it. So stop moaning that you weren't good enough and stop being jealous, because they're entertainers, and it's a form of that, isn't it? And if they're not entertaining you enough, fine, moan about them, it's no problem. But what I'm trying to say, I have to work with them, and it is a huge ask, day in, day out, week in, week out, to put a young fella in and let him deal with the pressure of this and worry about himself and still be responsible to carry the weight of Swindon Town FC on his shoulders. It's a huge, huge pressure, but also privilege. I think they're all understanding the privilege that it is now, which I'm making them see. So I'm trying to find, wherever I can, lifting every stone everywhere I know, everybody I've ever worked with, I'm phoning, I'm talking to, have you seen one, have you got one, can I have him, what about this, is it possible, will he come back? The great thing is the lads are doing such a good job, we look a much nicer prospect for anybody who might want to come out on loan. So we might have a chance, but you know, at the end of the day, Tom Nichols, for example, last week, he's nowhere near fit enough yet, but there was a couple of fouls that he won where he used his body and he knocked people out of the way and he got in a bit of nous. We wouldn't have got that. They'd have been attacking us. He got us that, it bought us a bit of time, and everybody knows he knows what he's doing. And when you look around the dressing room, you need to see that. And then you don't get the panics that we had against Colchester and stuff like that. So, you know, would I have liked to have brought in that kid from Colchester who was brilliant on the night? He's got injured again. their centre forward, their number 9. They haven't had him for a while, so they haven't been winning. It's amazing what happens. But hopefully, I'll get a balance, I'll get a blend, and people will enjoy what we're trying to do, because I'm enjoying it. And if I'm enjoying it, that means I think the fans will. So what else is it in my remit? What is it? Can I get these people understanding the privilege it is to play for a club, how hard they should work, and enjoying their environment? I think all of that's kicking in, and I think you can see that. What we got to do is try and do that on the away games. There's no excuse. I do not understand. We got to start picking up away points. It's not good enough. And hopefully we can start with Friday. Whatever they do, however they do it, we have to apply ourselves in a way that we've been doing it and try and hurt their back four. If that's win it when they're trying to play, fine. Or is it when we get it, when we put it and where we put it and how many bodies I put around that? So it's all about then getting the balance, and we're nowhere near where I want us to be. Nowhere near. But I'm enjoying the effort that the lads are now giving me. And I think we will apply that effort on Friday night. It's different. Can we start an away run going? We've got a home one going. Can we start an away run going? And then we could be seriously pleased with ourselves. But at the minute, I am devastated with how bad we are away from home. It's totally and utterly unacceptable to me.
Where are you with Billy Kirkman and George Cox injury?
Billy Kirkman's good news. When I say good news, it's only a strain of his ACL. It's not a tear, and it looked like it might be. So, and a rebuild, which is great. So we're talking 4 to 6 weeks, I think. So that's good news. Grant will be back on the grass with the first team next Monday. So he's on the grass at the minute with the physios, and so far, touch wood, nothing is flared up. He's had a calf injury called a soleus muscle, which is a stabilizing muscle. It's not the main one, it's not the big calf ones, it's one in big, and it's a nightmare. They are horrible. And so we got to make sure that's right, but he's doing stuff on the grass, feeling no pain, not even feeling it, which is a good sign. Hopefully by Monday, he'll be fine. John McGregor is progressing slowly but steadily, and because it's a strain in his groinal area, we got to be careful. He's doing better than Minturn is, so we are referring Minturn back. He might need an injection in there to help settle things down, whereas McGregor's much closer than Minturn is. So I think that's it. But I can't give you how long that is.
Yeah, so is McGregor available for selection or not?
No, not at all. He's just... I have my training ones who I look at, and he's one of those over there running around the outside with the physio, so I don't even... Sick, lame or lazy, and at the minute he's lame. He's not sick and he's not lazy, so he's just lame. And I always have a bit of fun with people, you know. What are you? Sick, lame or lazy? So he's lame. But he's on the mend.
I can't imagine anyone's ever got the nerve to reply to you and go, I'm lazy.
I tell them if I think they are. Nobody worked harder than me, and that's all I'm trying to bring to this place. And then if I can get the talent right, and I make them work harder, we get better, don't we? People are scared to say it these days. Man United managers come out and said they're the worst team in Man United's history. Well done, mate. I make you right. What's wrong with saying that? If you actually think it and you see it and you believe it, is he trying to cover himself? No. Absolutely bang on true, isn't it? So good luck sorting all that mess out.
Cheers, thank you very much.
So it sounds like you're hopeful for a striker to come.
Yep. Or a wide man. Could be a wide man who could score goals.
The one that you feel is quite complete is that's the forward then that you think is going to be done in town for.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm 400% confident it's done.
But you'd still be looking for a defensive cover?
I got two problems, haven't I?
You've got keepers to figure out as well, no? Or are you a bit more confident now?
I'm more confident with our overall scenario, right? I think my defence is looking much better. I'm worried about their rigidity. Are they strong enough? Will they last? Because if I get any more injuries, what's going to happen then? And I'm happy with that. Ollie Clark can go back in there and do that. I like how he's added to Tamisi. Sometimes with Tamisi and Will, they end up chatting and it's all going wrong. So I've split that up by putting someone else in. And Will's been man of the match twice, and Tamisi was almost man of the match on Saturday. So just because Ollie's in there, it helps them out a little bit because he's a bit more bossy. Do you know what I mean? It's like the jobs around at home. My wife tells me what to do, and I do them. You know, if she didn't, we'd probably get it wrong. You know, so that's a plus. You know. I haven't really got that sort of person in the building. I've always had a utility player. Alex Baptiste played right back, left back, centre mid sometimes. We haven't got one really. You know, I'm asking, but I think Jake Kane can do centre midfield and left wing back, which I'm finding out, which I'm delighted with. So anyway, there's areas that I would love to add if I could, you know, and there's areas that I would want to be able to switch to if a game wasn't going so well. But overall, with the restrictions and the limits of having to get out to bring in, I might be enough to sort of head to where I would rather be in the table. But will it be enough to get us where I'd love to be and where I feel we could deserve to be if we get on a run that's good enough? So that's where I'm looking. I also got to be really aware that away from home it's nowhere near good enough, and I also got to be aware that if I get an injury like I've got at the back, in the front area, am I covered? Right? I'm delighted that Botan can come in and come out and do all the bits that he can, and he might even be good enough to take over from someone. But you know, so have I got that? Anthony's done really well. Really pleased with Anthony. Even with his pass the other day, I didn't care. It's what he did after that. So there's still some grey areas. There's still some grey areas that aren't in my control. Right? What is happening to Miguel? We don't know yet. What is happening? Because Cottrell could be called back. So I spoke to their manager this morning. So I don't know yet. Right? I don't know yet. But who I am and what I am is I tell people the truth. So I'm just waiting. And it's a horrible place to be. I have no patience. But my experience is telling me I just can't do anything. And the good thing is I can go out on the grass and I can let other people make the calls and do things, which I've got so many wonderful staff in this club. They're doing that for me while I'm out there doing the work, which is superb. And that's the structure, the infrastructure that we already have, that I'm fortunate enough to step into. You know? So, and I'll find out a lot more in the next, I think one of them's definitely done.
Would that be in time for Friday? Or, and even if it was, would it be something that you'd want to do to integrate straight away with perhaps not even a training session?
If I get who I'm asking, he'll be definitely on the bench. Definitely on the bench. And I would not lose any sleep then for now until the rest of the season about us having people fit enough and ready to actually score goals. So I'd be very, very pleased. Right? So that's just me personally, you know. I think it's a very good get for us. The rest of it. No, I'm not going to tell you who it is. It'll be there tomorrow, and it won't blow your socks off. You probably won't have heard of him, but it doesn't matter. It's his skill set that I like. And when you see something that you like, and when you know that all the other ones you've got here could go alongside him with his skill set, all of them could work. And now if I want to take 3 off, I'll be able to put 3 on. Happy days, I haven't been able to do that since I've been here, really. Right? So you imagine on Saturday, I could have took every one of them off, and I could have put this fella and the other 2 I had there, Cabs and Glatz, and I think they would work. That's what you got to do. I think that would work in our system without having to change. Bump. At the minute, if I put Botan on, I got to change because he's a winger. You know? So it'll put pressure on all of them. Danny Butterworth, Cottrell, it'll put pressure on all of them, but that's what they need, and they want to be. I said it when I first came in, if you want to be part of a big club, you've got to have better players all around you to push you to play out your best. And the truth is, you only know and find out when the chips are really down. That's when the real players, that's when the champions serve their best serve or hit their best shot or do what they do. And I believe we're getting a group here that has a potential to show me that they could go on a win. We got to do it away from home. Now, come on. Don't get me wrong, I think the performance at Wimbledon was excellent. I think the performance at Bromley could have been better, but we did well. They won 3-0 the next game they played away at Gillingham. So we hit them at a time where they were expecting us to be awful, but we weren't. So that was a step forward, but Notts County hit us. We're nowhere near as good as them. Fair play. They've just sold someone for 400,000 and bought someone in for 500 grand. Well done to them. We're not in that situation, but so we're nowhere near. We haven't got the footings that they have and what they've been doing and what they've been building. So, but I'm really pleased with where we're going, and if I don't get anyone else, I'll be happy. Does that make sense? I'd be worried about the defensive frailties that we might have if we get any more injured, but I believe in a couple of weeks we'll have McGregor back and we might have Minturn 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, you know, but hopefully that'll be, I know Grant will be back, so I'm not that over concerned. I was a little bit if I'd have brought in Jaden Raymond and then hang on a minute, he don't play in any of those, so that's where I am, and I'm that tight I couldn't do it. I'd have loved to have been able to do it, but that might be for another day. And also, you're limited with loans. If you have 6, you can only use 5. I'll have to leave one of them out. And the club's loaning me them. Don't want that to happen. They're all loaning you them to have them and have minutes. So there's some unbelievable deals I could have done. I got loads of people waiting for me, and I'm really pleased that the people are saying, Ollie, do you want me? Oh my God, wow. But at the minute, you know, it's going to be difficult to actually say, wait a minute. And McGurk's picked up, I could have had him back, but at the end of the day, it's all about trying to get the balance right. And I might get it wrong. If I do, it's not deliberate. Do you get what I mean? And I will admit it if I got it wrong, but I am trying to bring the right blend and also the balance of people where, oh yeah, I could see why he's gone. I could see, oh, hang on, the gaffer once. Oh yeah, oh wow. And then if you get that right, all your teams, wow. You get 1 or 2 wrong and he's just replaced me. Why is that then? Oh, that ain't fair. And then the new bloke don't get the help that he deserves. And then you got a horrible group, haven't you? So it's Man United all over. No, they got a horrible group. I'm sorry, they are. Absolutely, I'm on at them all the time because their previous manager would have never done that. He'd have never brought in horrible people. He got rid of one bloke for being horrible. They signed him back, didn't they? For 90 million. It's madness. Pogba. Who was right? Mourinho or Sralek? Rest my case.
And just checking up on George Cox. He's okay after he was withdrawn the other day?
He was more than okay. He's more than okay. He knows he's in credit. He knows after scoring that penalty, he knows after his celebrations, I didn't see him for half hour. He was still out there on his own with everybody. He's a wonderful character and I love him to bits. And that was a precaution he came off with. So, you know, I don't think he's a clairvoyant thinking, hang on, if I stay on, I might get Billy's injury. But no, I don't think so. I don't think he thought that far ahead. But he's got a smile on his face. He's ready to train. So, and he's trained the rest of the week. So I got no issues with that. So.
Perfect. Thank you very much.